and welcome to the Bernie and Marley podcast. Today we have DJ LightsOff as a guest. He's going to be telling us how facing your fears can open new doors, a whole new path, and closer towards that goal you've been working on. He's going to tell us how he overcame people bringing him down and giving him negative comments towards his goal. Now stay with us as he tells us his journey on how he made it to where he's at now. All right, Martin, I just want to thank you for having the time to do this episode with me. So just tell us your story. Like, where did all this started? How did you become a DJ? Like, no kid grows up saying, well, I wouldn't say no kid, but I know you didn't grow up saying, I want to be a DJ.
Definitely not. First of all, I just want to say hi. Bernie, thank you for having me. I appreciate you taking the time to reach out to me. You actually reached out to me. I'm gonna break it down, like how we actually heard of each other. You reached out to me to make the intro for your podcast, and one of my issues is that I'm the worst procrastinator. So I ended up lagging on you with that. Yeah. And you went ahead and did it, and I saw how you progressed on it. I was like, oh damn, all right, I'm gonna reach out and see what he's up to, and so I hit you up, and then you asked me if I wanted to be on here, and I was like, hell yeah.
Dude, the hard part was trying to find somebody to do the song for me.
Right.
Like the background music. But I ended up going on YouTube just asking people, hey, can I use your music? Can I use your music?
Pretty good.
And then I asked so many people, and then one guy just responded like, hey, sure, go ahead.
He probably had like a bunch of songs up there.
Yeah, he did. And he's like, here, go ahead and use it.
Pretty
I'm like, all right, just don't sue me, okay?
But to answer your question, you asked me when I started DJing. I was actually 19 when I started DJing. In high school, I was a nerd. I played soccer, and I got good grades. And I didn't really go to any parties or anything like that. So once I get into college, that's when I really started turning up. And one of my homies was a DJ. His name's Adrian. He went by DJ Buck Nasty. And so I started DJing with him, and he ended up quitting. And then, as I was telling you earlier, my dad co-signed for me when I was 18 to get a brand new car. So his credit was A1, mine was non-existent. And when you co-sign like that, it boosts the credit of the person.
Man, I'm surprised you got him to co-sign for you.
Like I said, I was doing pretty good. Back then. I was getting good grades, and I didn't give him a reason not to want to co-sign.
So how were you when you were before DJing? Were you like a shy guy?
I would say I was pretty shy, but once you got to know me, I would open up, and I feel like everybody's like that, but I was definitely more reserved. I sat by myself when I first came to Canyon Springs out here in Moreno Valley. I sat by myself like the first 3 months. I remember there's this one story with the principal. She comes up to me during lunch, and she was like, I was reading a book because I didn't have any friends. And so she was like, oh, I wish all the other kids would do what you do during lunch. And I was like, Trick, I'm like, you don't think I'd rather be out there playing with, can I cuss on this?
Yeah, go ahead.
I said, bitch, you don't think I want I was like, you don't think I want to be out there socializing with all these other people? I'm like, I don't have any friends. I'm like, that's why I'm sitting here by myself. Man. But I was really reserved. I didn't really have any friends until I started playing soccer.
See, that's when people mostly connect a lot. Kind of like me when I was in football or sports.
What'd you play? What position did you
play? Second string quarterback, third string linebacker.
There it is.
I don't even care. But
you were the kicker, the punter.
I was the punter, dude.
There it is.
But that's how you connect with a lot of people, was through sports.
Yeah.
So your buddy. So once you got to college, that's when you started opening up. You started knowing more about yourself.
I guess you could say I wouldn't say I started knowing more about myself. I think I just definitely decided I was going to go for something. I hadn't really picked anything that I wanted to focus on yet, and partying was something that I was focusing on at that time.
So you like the vibe and stuff?
Yeah, because I just hadn't exposed myself to it, and when it was fresh, and thankfully, since I was still a very introverted type of person, even being at the parties, I didn't like socializing. So being a DJ was like the natural thing for me to do. Throw me in the corner and just let me play music,
That's a big step though. But how did you prepare yourself to just throw yourself out there? Like, I'm gonna be in a spot. I'm a quiet kid. I'm shy.
That's what alcohol and drugs do, man. Like they lower your inhibitions, and then they give you the courage to go and do dumb shit. And that's what I did most of my 20s. But at the same time, I was really focused on the music. You know, like I still had that student mentality, that good grade mentality, and I applied that to the music, and it definitely helped me get to where I'm at now.
Okay, explain to me like the first time you did your first gig. Where was it at? How did you feel?
Man, like I said, I started DJing out here in Moreno Valley. So the very first gig that I did was Pepper's Lounge. I don't know. Are you from Moreno Valley?
No.
Oh, okay. So see,
LA.
I'm speaking gibberish to you right now, bro.
Oh, man.
So Pepper's Lounge was probably like one of the only nightclubs out here back in. I graduated in 2006, so like the early 2000s, and it was dead. Because Moreno Valley didn't really have much going on at that time either.
Right.
Most of the houses that are built here now, it's not like that. For those of you guys that don't know what Moreno Valley is, I'd go on Google and search it. Moreno Valley.
When I tell people where I live in Menifee, and they're like, "What the heck is that?" I'm like, "Next to Paris. What is that?" I'm like, "You know what? Never mind. I live far, pretty much.
I live east." That's what I do when I go to LA. They're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, so where do you live?" "Oh, I live like an hour and a half east of here." You know, just because it's not that known out here. We don't get the respect.
Oh no, heck no. So you're in college, right? Like, you haven't picked a major. You're DJing. When was the moment you told yourself, "This is what I want to do"?
I can pinpoint the moment that I knew I wanted to do it. It was when I started going to the raves out in LA. There was one called the Halloween one, Monster Massive. It was called Monster Massive.
I heard about that one. That was pretty big.
It was at the LA Sports Arena, and I remember sitting in the middle of the pit, and it was like completely dark. You know, like, and all you see is just like people's lights all around, like look like a million stars, and then just the one guy on stage, you know, with his hands up. And I had already started DJing. I was already doing parties, and I was like, you know, yeah, it's cool rocking parties, but it was just fun for me at that point. Like, it was just about turning up and meeting girls and having fun. But it was at that moment that the music just stopped, and everybody just started screaming for him, like, ah. And I was like, dude, I want that power. Like, I wanted what he had, you know? So it was at that point that I was just like, okay, you know, like, I'm going to start taking this a little bit more seriously. And then I got this documentary at the Virgin Mobile Store at the Block in Orange. The documentary was called Scratch, and it was made by one of my biggest turntablist influences. His name's Rob Swift. Mm-hmm. He was in the DJ crew in the 80s called the Executioners, and to this day they're like the beast of the beast, bro. Like, you can't fuck with those guys. Like, go on YouTube, type in Rock Rada, type in Rob Swift, and like you'll see like who these
do they
guys
create their own music, or do they just play the top hits?
No, they're literally turntablists, bro. So what I mean is that they manipulate the turntable and scratch records in a way that a person would do by playing a guitar. So they're using literally the turntable as an instrument, like recreating sound.
Okay.
It's a beautiful thing, bro. It honestly, like, DJing, I feel like a lot of people have misunderstood it over the past couple of years because of the saturation of people that become DJs. Paris Hilton became a DJ. Like, they started taking it as a joke. But these guys, bro, like, they really, it's an art. It's an art form. It really is.
Is that how it was before? Before DJing became big, like, before you had to be like a nerd for it.
Yeah, in the 80s.
And
like,
now everybody is just jumping on it. Anybody can be a DJ. I can be a DJ. Yeah. I just get the top songs,
put on Pandora, play.
There you go.
Put up a Spotify playlist, plug in the aux, like, let's go.
So, what's the biggest challenge as a DJ?
The biggest challenge, I think, would be reading the crowd. Definitely reading the crowd. It takes experience. Like, you're not like, if you're a brand new DJ and you've never done a gig, I don't care how much music you have in your library, unless you've actually thrown yourself out there, you know, and put the meat out for the wolves, like, you're never gonna know what their preference is. You know,
have you ever like experienced that the crowd wasn't moving?
Oh yeah, bro.
How did you feel?
I've had nights when the crowd just everything that I play is just clicking, and then I've had nights when I'm playing the exact same songs and nothing just seems to be working. It depends on.
Is this when you're playing for clubs and stuff?
Yeah, yeah.
And does the owner tell you anything like, "Hey, you're messing up. The crowd's not moving"?
I had an experience when I was DJing at Heat in Orange County. People make up preconceptions of you when they've never heard of you, you know, especially if they've never heard of you. They're like, oh, you know, he's just some regular DJ, he's whack. You don't get the credit until you've put in the years. So no matter what the venue is that you're going to, you could be playing like the best music, but because they've never heard you, they already made up their mind in their head that they're not gonna rock with you.
Does that depend on the first song you play? That's how you set the vibe.
Yeah,
right?
for sure. But it also depends on the time that you come in, you know. So, for example, if you're a resident DJ, you'll spin at a bar or a nightclub the entire time, right? You'll be there from 9 to 1:30 when they call last call for alcohol. But if you're a guest DJ at a top nightclub, you'll go in there and you'll drop a guest set. You could be there from 9 to 10 or from 11 to 12 or from 12 to 1. Depending on those times, like you're playing a certain vibe. You know, you don't play all the bangers at 9 o'clock because there may be there's nobody there. You know, you don't play slow songs at midnight because everybody's trying to turn up and have a good time.
That's when everybody starts showing up, the whole crowd.
Yeah.
So how did you start off though? Like, did you start off doing backyard parties?
Yeah.
And tell us how you grew from that?
So I started doing parties with my friend. Like I said, it just started as parties, and eventually I started making T-shirts, and then people started hearing my name around the town, and I was doing parties 3 nights a week. You know, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and eventually the word got out to the local bar here, Pepper's Lounge. I started doing all age events. I think I was like 19 at the time, so all age events, and then we moved over to Pomona. And that's when I first got my big opportunity for a nightclub there called The Brick, which is no longer open.
So how did they heard about you? They just
I met the promoter doing my all age event here at Pepper's Lounge. So honestly, like if for any up and coming DJs, if they're trying to figure out like, okay, man, like I'm trying to get in the game, I'm trying to get gigs, like what do I do? Like how do I get there? Is you just got to show your face. You got to show your face, and with social media, it's a lot easier now to show your face. But there's nothing like making that genuine like eye contact that you know you're touching like skin to skin.
People get nervous.
Yeah,
huh? Like these DJs, they've been putting those masks on, like DJ Blend, Dead Mouse.
Yeah,
would you think they'll be like a shy person? They don't want to show their face, so they put on this mask on.
I wouldn't say that they're a shy person. I think there's insecurity somewhere in there. Or a fear, you know, of heights or being on stage or speaking on the microphone. And when you put on a mask, like you can just kind of pretend to be whoever you want to be, you know. I think you can do that as a regular human being, but it's so much easier when you have like something covering your eyes.
Yeah,
it's all in the eyes, bro. Like right now I'm looking deep into your soul. Like I could see.
What do you see?
I can almost like read your mind. Like,
oh man,
I want tacos, you know. Like I can see it.
Hey, what point did you ever have a point where you wanted to quit? Like, I'm not getting the connections. I'm not getting the gigs. Never.
I've always been confident. No, of course not. No, man. There's been plenty of times when I actually quit. Like I stopped, you know, for like a month or like 3 months. There was even I moved to Chicago for 2.5 years, and for 1.5 years, I didn't touch decks. You know.
What caused it though?
The being in the scene, being in the nightlife, you know, you get exposed, you get free drinks, you get free drugs, you get free whatever you want, free girls, and you get caught up in it sometimes. You forget why you started doing it. I know I did. I don't want to say you because not everybody's gone through that, but for my own personal experience and for my own personal growth, I definitely got caught up in it. And I treated it more like if it was a party or a recreational than an actual career. And I got multiple DUIs. So I got like 3 DUIs, bro.
Damn.
Yeah. Not 1, not 2,
but 3.
3.
Man, dude.
Yeah.
You're a train wreck, dude.
Dude, no, yeah. So that last one was literally. Yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and get deep into this with you, bro, because I feel like this moment right here was like a defining moment in my life. Especially to lead me to the point where I'm at right now. I'm taking my DJ career right now to the next level. So many doors have opened because of the fact that I've decided to open myself up, be vulnerable, ask for help, be committed and responsible. Something that when I was doing it just for fun was completely non-existent. You know, yeah, I was succeeding and getting gigs and stuff like that, but I wasn't taking it serious. I wasn't committed. I wasn't dedicated, and it was still more about the party than anything. So I got that third DUI. I crashed into a back of a semi truck on the freeway going like 85.
Oh,
in a little ass
dude.
fucking car, dude. I had a Nissan Sentra, limited edition though, special edition.
Oh, look at this guy with the engine. What do they call those?
It had spinners. It had the spinners on it.
No, what do they call the engine? They call it twin. No, not
I don't
twin.
know.
Whatever. Anyways.
Yeah. So so I crashed into a back of a semi truck, bro, and I don't know how the car turned back on, but it turned back on. I ended up it was smoking, it was like leaking, and I was like flooring it on the freeway, and the car was going like 10 miles an hour. It wouldn't go any faster,
dude.
It was going like on you. I was like, shit, dude. So I get home. I don't know how the car makes it home, but right here I get home, and like an hour and a half later, the cops are at my door. They pull me out. They give me a the drunk test?
Yeah.
I passed with flying colors, of course. No, I didn't. I failed it, man. They put me in handcuffs and they locked me up. And I didn't think I was gonna get out. I was
How
like,
did they get you? Did they get your license plate?
They said that somebody reported that I fled because I hit the semi truck. So I was supposed to pull over, but I was in shock, dude.
Hey, there's probably not even a scratch on that semi truck.
Nah. But they sent me a bill, dude.
How much was it?
Like 1,500. I mean 15,000.
For what?
Exactly.
I drive semis for a living, man. And I seen some damages, and nothing happens to the truck. It all happens to the car.
I was a little ass car, dude. There was no way that I could have done $15,000 worth of damages to a semi truck.
Weird, man.
Yeah, that's the good beauty of America is that you could just sue anybody for almost anything nowadays and get your money. Yeah, so that's what I'm gonna do to you, Bernie. So be ready. Expect papers in the mail.
Oh crap. Hey, so has anybody ever said anything to you, like that? How should I say? Made you think twice about your career? Well, the first negative comment anybody's ever said.
Yeah, well, it's always been really hard for me to take constructive criticism or feedback from people because I was just raised on being like down. Everything that I did was downplayed. You know, I was always like told that I wasn't gonna be shit. So that ruined my confidence. So anytime somebody when I was older would tell me something, like I would take it to heart. And plenty of times, you know, like I would after a bad show or you know maybe like an argument here with the family at home, I would reconsider and reevaluate my life. Like, dude, like is this really like what you want to do? Yeah,
because how did your family, friends react to it? Like, hey, that's not taking you anywhere. You're barely making it.
My parents still, I still feel like it's been 10 years that I've been doing this, and I've made plenty of money doing it. But the way I managed it, completely different. But whether I made money doing it, man, hell yeah. I made a shitload of money doing this. But to this day, my parents still don't believe that it's going to lead to anything. But I feel like that's the old mentality that people from previous generations have. They don't believe in the technology yet.
Oh, yeah. They don't know what social media can do these days. Man. So they're so die hard, go to college. And it's like,
so that's
you
what
don't
I
need
did.
College nowadays.
I went to college. I graduated from Cal State San Bernardino. I still have the debt as well.
My fiance graduated from there.
Yeah, it's a great school. I learned so much from that fucking school, man. Really? It was really dope. Yeah. A couple people died while I was there too.
What happened?
I said a couple people died while I was there too.
What the heck? That was so random.
Hey, bro, you're in San Bernardino. There's nothing random about that.
Oh, man. Okay, she would probably be like, yeah, true. Same here.
Yeah, man. But I have a lot of respect for the city, and I have a lot of admiration for the school. I learned a lot there.
Do you believe that your friends, strangers, will support you more than family and friends?
After this past week, I would say no. Because like I said, once you present yourself to the people that know you in a vulnerable way and you're just honest and they see you trying to do something positive for yourself, I think that the support is inevitable, you know, and it's genuine. And for people that don't know you, like they need some sort of compensation for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, if you want me to be a fan of you, like, I need good music, you know, as opposed to somebody that you grew up with or that knows you. They see you grinding, they see you putting the effort. Yeah, they see you doing it. Maybe they're not buying your album, but if you were to reach out and say, hey guys, like, I really, like, I'm trying to make this happen. Like, I really need you guys. I'm being open. I'm being vulnerable. I don't know. However it comes out from your heart. You know, every person's different. Every situation's different. But when you're being honest, I think the people respond, especially the ones that love you.
Yeah. How do you stay motivated when there's so many DJs out there doing the same thing you're doing, and you see them on top of here, and you're still on the bottom? Like, I'm doing the same thing they're doing. Why am I in the bottom?
Yeah, it's.
How do you stay motivated through that?
It's something that you battle with daily, and especially with social media and Instagram, it's so hard to stay away from that. You know, you open up the Instagram and everybody's posting up their highlights. Nobody's posting up the bad things that happen to them.
Oh no.
You know, so when you look at somebody's Instagram, you're literally just looking at the best moments in their life, and you're like, damn, this was living it. But you're not seeing the other 23 hours and 58 minutes. You know, like all you're seeing is 1 to 2 minutes of their day, and you're thinking that they have the best life. So I think it fucks with our perception of life. It fucks with your perception.
Because you have so many friends, and then everybody's posting something great, and that's all you're seeing.
Yeah. So
on social media.
I think when people are more open now and they post their failures, I've been doing that, and I've been getting a response, a genuine response. Like, that's the thing that everybody's trying to get from marketing and promotions on social media now is authentic audience.
Yeah,
you know?
you ask them, give me feedback. How can I make myself better?
Yeah.
Because if you ask your wife, fiance, girlfriend, friends, they're all going to tell you the same thing. No, you're doing good, man. Sounds good. Sounds good.
Yeah, babe.
Keep it up.
But that's just because they love you. They're showing unconditional support. They're not going to tell you your shit sucks. They don't want to hurt your feelings. So yeah, I guess that's when you go to the people on Twitter, the people on Facebook, and then they tell you it sucks, and that's when you quit.
Oh man. So what's your goal? Like, what are you trying to do? Are you trying to be just a simple local DJ? Are you trying to be the next David Guetta, DJ Tiesto? You know that
there's a bar right here in Moreno Valley, and I just want to be there till I'm 65. You know, I just figure like I get no benefits, I have no health plan, minimum wage. You know, like what else does a guy want?
They
like,
give you water
They give me water every 3 hours. You know, like
that's nice.
They only two cups maximum, but that's a pretty good deal, don't you think?
Yeah, you're blessed, man. You're blessed.
Yeah, exactly. You got to count your blessings.
Wait, are you being for reals?
No, completely.
Oh man,
opposite. Actually, my goals are. It goes beyond music.
You looked really serious.
Yeah, I'm really good at being
a good actor, man.
Yeah, thank you. That's actually one of the things I want to do.
Another career option right there.
I want to be an actor. I want to do stand-up comedy. I'm going to. I'm going to write a book. I'm actually working on a book.
I tried stand-up comedy and completely choked, dude.
Why? What happened? Tell me about
it. All my ideas just went out. It didn't come out.
What do you mean? Like right now? I was
doing it at a family party.
Oh, okay. ¿Y luego?
I choked.
Like B-Rabbit? Choke.
I couldn't say anything, so I just went. I got off.
So wait,
and just continued on with my life.
And then never gave it another shot?
Nah.
And that was it? You only gave one shot. Do not miss your chance to blow. You ruined it, man. So stand-up comedy is definitely something that I want to do. But I just haven't quite built up the courage. I have a few jokes written down, like a nice little 15-minute set. But
is it original?
Yeah, of course it's original. Of course it's original. Yeah,
a lot of jokes are now.
I mean, is anything really original? I guess
nowadays,
not. You know,
no,
I don't think ever. You know, everything like I'm a religious or spiritual person. They say there's nothing new under the sun. Yeah. You know, and that's been written for thousands of years. So, you know, I guess the only thing that's really new is technology because they didn't have it back then. But
I love this technology, man. It's making it so much easier to get yourself out there, make money out there.
Yeah, I mean, we live in a world of in a new generation of the age of information, but people are entrepreneurs now. Like people can literally run 6 businesses through their fucking laptop.
What's an entrepreneur? Like you see a lot of people on Instagram, Facebook, putting entrepreneur on their bio.
Mm-hmm. I think,
and they probably never even sold anything in their life.
Yeah, well, a lot of people do that shit on Instagram. They'll put something that they aren't, a public figure. Like, no, they got like 16 followers. You know, like, how are you a public figure when you only have 16 followers? Did you hear that they're trying to take off the likes?
Dude, that'll kill so many careers, man.
Exactly.
The Instagram models.
Exactly. So I feel like that's a good move for people who are actually dedicated to their craft, because then people are gonna, they'll pay attention more. They're gonna get the credit.
Did you hear about that girl whose Instagram got deleted? She freaking lost it, dude.
Well,
she went crazy.
Like actual crazy, or
no? She was freaking. She made a YouTube video saying that, why would you guys report me?
Damn.
She was getting reported a lot, to the point where Instagram just said, you know what, we're deleting your account. And she was crying like, I have to go get a regular job. I have no skills. I don't want to be out there.
See, all those limitations, she's setting them for herself. That's another thing that I'm gonna get off topic, but fuck it. It's like the art of attraction, the law of attraction, the art of attraction. The law of attraction is real, man.
What is it?
Pretty much, you know, like if you manifest like your vision, you know, like through meditation, through positive affirmations, through vision boards, you know, through like relaying it and putting it out to the universe. You know, literally what I mean by putting it out to the universe is telling people with confidence what your plans are, you know, and not being afraid to tell it to anyone and everyone. Because the more you open up to people about it, like eventually something's gonna hit, somebody's gonna click. It's like, think about it like an advertisement, you know? If you expose 10,000 people to it, at least 100 are gonna click on it.
Oh yeah, that's how it is.
It's to say that's the law of attraction, but in a digital form, you know?
Is that what you're doing now?
I feel like I would say, yeah, that's what's happening. I wouldn't say that I was purposely doing it. It's kind of just happening on its own. But I've been applying the art of the law of attraction. I have been doing positive affirmations, meditations, and telling my brain who it is that I really am. And
so you're just blocking out all the negatives. You're staying in a positive circle.
Yeah, you have to. If not, eventually those negative thoughts will consume you, because there's more negative out there than there is positive. You turn on the news and it's, oh, I'm gonna scare you, or like, be scared, or don't do this, be afraid. They just killed somebody here. They're programming us to be afraid, to be insecure, to judge, to want things that don't belong to us. Like, and that's just making us weaker and weaker. They have it on social media too. It's scary, bro, because there's more negative than there is positive out there right now. You know, I'm not saying that there isn't positive, but lately, if you're consistent enough and genuine enough, I've been getting so much feedback lately, bro. And people are telling me, hey, you know, like, thank you for posting. Like, you're helping me out. Like, it brightens up my day. You're brightening up my day. And that's why I do it. Like,
and what kind of stuff would you post though?
Just, you know, like, when you're authentic, I'll tell them something like, man, I've always wanted to do this, or like, I wanted to do this and I messed up. You know, dang, I'm not perfect, but tomorrow I'm gonna go get it. You know, like, sometimes when you fail, or when you disappoint, or when you let somebody down, that knocks the wind out of you too, and it ruins your momentum. It's all about momentum.
Being consistent.
Yeah, being consistent. Once you get the momentum and the ball's rolling, like, nobody can stop you, because you just have that energy behind you. You become an immovable force.
At what point can you say, I made it?
I don't think I'll ever be able to say that, because I'm a progressive. I'm constantly changing, just like everything is constantly changing. My mindset at 15 was not the same mindset I had at 25. The mindset I had at 25 is not the mindset I have at 31 now. I still want similar things, but my overall view and perception of what I want and what I want for the world, and what I want to leave behind, is completely different. You know, I would say definitely I'm maturing. And honestly, like, it's only between like the past, I would say, year and a half that I've actually really started to, okay, you know, like what are you going to leave when you die? What are you going to leave behind when you die? And is it going to be worth anything?
Leave your mark.
Well, not even just leaving. Like I could leave my mark, but it'd be like the fucking suicide bomber. That's not the type of mark I'm trying to leave behind. You know, I want to leave behind a mark that people are gonna be proud of, or people are gonna grow from and be better people because of it.
They say the definition of hell is, that's a quote I read, is meeting the person you could have been. So imagine
That's
meeting
terrifying.
yourself, what you could have been before you died.
You know, before, like I said, I spent most of my 20s going in circles, man. Like I got success at a very early age, and had I been professional and consistent about it and serious about it, I would have been in a totally different place. But I spent most of my 20s turning up, and it wasn't up until recently that I realized that I was going in circles, man. And so now, like, my goals have changed, you know, like, it's not just about the music now. Like, I want to do charities. I want to write books that are going to help people. And the truth is that just by, like, us, by using our voice, Bernie, like, that's why I got so much respect for you, because the show that you're doing, like, you're coming out, you're voicing your opinion, you're letting other people speak about their story. And believe it or not, people that listen to, they may or may not connect to it, but the ones that do, it's helping them in one way or another.
To jump the gun.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people are just, they're too scared. They live with fear. And that's the thing I don't want to live with. It's just like, be in my deathbed and be like, what if I would have done this?
Yeah.
That's the thing I don't want to live with. What if?
Yeah. And that's what you said about, like, imagine seeing the person that you were supposed to become, right? Or that you could have become. I told myself a lot, like, in my late 20s, I was like, dude, my 18-year-old self would be so fucking disappointed in myself. Like, same thing. Like, my 10-year-old self would be like, dude, like, what is wrong with you?
So
like,
what would you done different, though?
I would have stayed away from drugs and alcohol, period.
They make it seem like the party scene, the DJ scene, is all about drugs and alcohol.
They glamour, and the thing is that it's warping the minds of the youth, and it warped my mind. Like, that's what I thought it was, and that's what I treated it like for 10 years until like a year and a half ago, you know, until after I got my DUI. You know, I needed a fucking
that's crazy, dude. Took 3 DUIs.
Yeah, bro.
Wow.
You know, 3 DUIs. And I'm not trying to play like the victim here or anything like that, but I dealt with a lot of trauma as a kid, you know, and I feel like I'm definitely not the only one. There's a lot of people that suffer like domestic violence issues, you know. That's when actually the charity that I want to start, because I was a victim of domestic violence as a kid. From birth all the way up to 16, I was seeing violence in my home every day, you know.
Wow.
And I thank God now that, you know, people do change for the better if they want to. But if you want to keep going in circles, or you're afraid of change, people are afraid of change. It terrifies them because it's different. It makes them uncomfortable. Nobody likes to be uncomfortable. But the only way to progress is to be uncomfortable. Like, put yourself
face
in
the fears. Like, doing this podcast made me feel uncomfortable. I was like, what the heck am I supposed to talk about?
Yeah.
And every time I tell myself that, I'll think about my Facebook friends. Like, would they want to hear this? And I will limit myself. I'm like, you know what? Screw my Facebook friends. Yeah. What the stuff I talk about, there's somebody that's gonna like it.
Yeah, of course.
There's millions and millions of people in this world. Someone's gonna like it.
I'm not gonna have faith.
Yeah,
you gotta trust the process and believe in what you're doing and put your everything behind it. The rest, the universe will handle it. The law of attraction will handle it. You know, the right people will hear it. The ones that it's gonna influence will hear it. I don't know how it fucking works, but that shit works, dude. I'm not, you know, like, I don't have the answers, Sway.
You got a lot of big things going on, man. So what's the ultimate goal? Like, I know we were talking about that earlier and we went off topic, but you didn't finish it.
The ultimate goal musically, within the next 3 years, I plan on being the most in-demand record producer on the planet.
Wow.
Okay? I want to sign. I'm going to sign a multi-million-dollar record deal with Warner Brothers or some big label. I don't know yet. I'm manifesting it. But
you wrote this down, like, I'm gonna do this in 3 years.
It's been written down. It's actually a year, but you know, I guess I'm holding myself back. You know, but it's actually a year. I gave myself a year to do this. I gave myself till October 31st of this year to have my at least 5 placements in TV, commercials, or like YouTube videos, video games. Like, I produce music, so I don't just DJ, I produce music as well. And like I said, I was gonna make the music for your podcast, but my procrastination of my old self, because I don't consider myself the same person I was 3 months ago. You know, I've made a big change just in the last few months, and I think you actually, I would like to come back for an interview in a year, so that we can like talk about the progress, because we won't be having it here. You know, I promise you, we're gonna be in a completely different city, in a completely different environment, and you're gonna say that, man, when you come in. You know, you're gonna be like, wow.
Hey, you shocked me when you said in 3 years. Well, you said
in a year.
In a year.
In a year.
That's crazy. There it is, Martin. What's your last name, Martin?
Solano.
Martin Solano, DJ LightsOff.
Lights off, not out. Everybody says lights out. Hey, lights out. No, it's lights off.
Wow.
Follow me on Instagram. It's if you just type in @LightsOff, you'll find me. It's Lights Off is Forever. And then you could also follow me on Twitter. I talk a lot of shit on Twitter. It's @DJ LightsOff, DEEJAY Lights Off. And yeah, man, you know, I'm just out here trying to leave a positive influence on people's lives. That's all I'm trying to do.
That's
whether
good,
it be by my music or by my voice.
What is one question you wish people had asked you?
Oof, that's a tough question. Why? What?
What is one question you wish people had asked you?
What is one question I wish people would have asked me? What do you want?
What do you want?
Yeah. No. How about this one? Who are you?
Wow.
Who are you? And now if they ask me that question, I have the answer. I didn't have it 3 months ago, and now I do. I'm a worthy, fearless, responsible leader. And those were all and if you try to compare the opposites of all of those, worthy is unworthy, right? Fearless is you're afraid, right? And responsible is you're irresponsible. Like, and a leader, I wasn't a leader. Those were the four things that I felt were holding me back in my 20s. Insecurity, unworthiness, like feeling that I wasn't good enough.
Because everybody was telling you all this stuff.
Because I was raised to believe that I wasn't good enough. Even when I was more than good enough. I was bringing in good grades. I was doing all the right things, and I was still being told it wasn't good enough. So obviously, when you get older, that resonates with you, and even if you're doing great, you'll never believe it. I couldn't take compliments. People would say, "Bro, like, you're a sick ass DJ."
Especially your family, like they're programmed to tell you you're good. Don't worry about it, mijo.
Yeah,
you're doing fine.
I didn't get that.
No,
I didn't get that. Nope.
I just never believe stuff family says. It's just like I'd rather hear it from a stranger.
I did. I feel like I was the complete opposite. Like, but I took all the negative. And it definitely affected me. So,
you're in college, you graduated. What made you say, I don't want to work for a 9-to-5 job? I don't want to work for a company. I want to do this. Because when you work for a company, you get a check.
I don't think
every week, every 2 weeks. With DJing, you don't know if you're gonna get a gig next week.
You got to go out and get it. Kind of like you do with your podcast. And I think since I was a little kid, I knew that I wanted to be more than just like a doctor, or more than just like a firefighter or a police or a lawyer. You know, like I always wanted to be something big. When the very first thing I remember wanting to be was a magician, and I was in like 4th grade. I wanted to be a magician. In like 6th grade, like I would listen a lot to like Linkin Park and Eminem and NSYNC and Backstreet Boys, and I wanted to be a singer, you know. And then I got into like Jim Carrey and like stand-up comedy, and I wanted to be an actor / like comedian.
Did you ever try it?
I haven't, but I honestly, you know, it motivates me to see people like Steve Carell, you know, that they didn't get started with their careers in acting until their 40s, you know. What's another guy? Samuel Jackson. What's that guy that plays God all the time? Morgan Freeman.
Oh, Morgan Freeman.
Yeah, you know, they all started in their late 30s, you know. So I'm 31. I feel like
Do you ever feel like, oh, I'm getting old? My life is against time.
I did.
How old are you again?
I'm 31.
31?
Yeah, and I did feel like that. Bro. But my mentality's completely changed, and I know that I'm in the right. I know I'm exactly where I need to be. And I'm confident about that. And the way everything's just manifesting right now, like I said, in a year from now, when we're doing episode like 200 and something for your podcast,
yeah,
you know,
I hope I'm doing something bigger. With this.
Don't hope it, man. Put it out there. I'm going to be doing something bigger, and that's where it starts. We hold ourselves back by saying, "Oh, I'm going to," or "I want to," or "I hope." Nah, man, fuck that. Like, I'm doing it. You know, like 6 months from now, you're gonna see me doing this. And even if you don't, then boom, just set it again. It's about laying it down and going for it. Obviously, not everything's gonna hit, but the more hits you do, the better chance you have of actually something hitting.
So, what is one thing you want to tell the audience?
Am I handsome? Yes.
Yes, he is.
Ladies, make sure you follow me. That's what I want to tell the audience. Ladies, follow me on Instagram. You can send pictures if you want.
This guy.
Nah, honestly, what I want to leave, the one thing I want to say is to be positive and be kind and help somebody out, and don't expect anything in return. We're here on this earth to serve and to help others, you know, and somewhere along the line, our ego got in the way, and it became more about dog eat dog as opposed to like, we're all dogs, let's eat, you know?
So there you have it, folks, from the one and only DJ LightsOff. The biggest lesson in this episode today was face your fears. Don't live your life with what if. Just imagine yourself in your deathbed with all those ideas telling you, why didn't you use me? I was the idea that could have changed your life. But there you are, dying, telling yourself, what if? A great quote that I found is the definition of hell. The last day you have on earth, the person you become will meet the person you could have become. If you don't understand what that said is, imagine meeting the person you could have became. All because of fears and living with what if you couldn't become that person. Let that sink in for a bit and stay tuned for the next episode.